Cognizant to the needs of our learners, parents, and teachers, the Department of Education provided us with powerful tools for productivity that will allow us to foster critical thinking skills, problem-solving skills, communication and collaboration skills to be compassionate, responsible global citizens. Join us and discover new ideas in our series of professional development training program with the ICTS EdTech Unit and Microsoft Education Philippines. Together, we will equip our learners and empower our fellow educators for a dynamic future. Para sa bata, para sa bayan, at para sa guro. Sulong Edukalidad.
Hello! Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. I would like to thank the program head of Senior High School Mathematics for inviting me in their test run today. Samahan nyo sila dito sa Itulay, isang session kada isang linggo para kayo ay maging math talino, math galing, makinig sa kanilang mga instruction, sama-sama nating i-follow ang mga equations dito sa mathematics para kayo ay maging math husay. At hindi na natin papatagalin yan, tinatawag na natin ang program head ng Senior High School Mathematics para ipakilala yung kanyang mga bagong team sa kanyang program. At walang iba kung hindi si Tutor Romel. Tutor Romel.
Hello! Magandang
Hello!
buhay!
Ano ba ang mga bago nating aabangan sa mathematics program ng Senior High School?
Pero bago ang lahat, Tutor Vida, nais ko munang magpasalamat sa iyo. Si Tutor Vida po ang Senior High School Program Head ng Filipino. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pagpapaunlak na kami po ay inyong samahan para po sa pakitang turo ng ating mga naggagalingan mga Senior High School MATHPamilya Itulay Tutors for school year 2021-2022. Maraming salamat din po syempre sa ating 12 million viewers na nakatutok ngayon sa ating DepEd Itulay FB group, sa Re-Inspire FB page at sa Re-Inspire YouTube channel. So magbibigay ng patikim ang ating mga tutor mentees. Ayan, so nagpapasalamat rin ako especially sa ating mga tutor mentees sa kanilang mga school head, no, na sila ay pinayagan na mag-participate sa isa na namang isang makabuluhan na programa ng Department of Education, syempre para sa pagkatuto ng ating mga mahuhusay na mga mag-aaral. Ayan, so Tutor Vida, hindi na natin ito patatagalin pa. Isang magandang buhay at siksik, liglig at umaapaw na hapon po sa inyong lahat. Ako po ang inyong Tutor Rom at ako po ang naatasan na maging Senior High School Program Head ng Senior High School Mathematics. Ayan, Tutor Vida, so handa ka na bang makilala ang ating unang-unang magpapakitang turo?
Excited na ako at for sure marami akong matututunan sa mathematics ngayon. At ayan, merong bumabate sa ating live, diba? Merong taga SDO Mabalacat City, Pampanga. God bless and good luck din po sa inyo dyan. Yan.
Ayan, so maraming salamat po. Ayan, so present no ang ating from SDO Mabalacat, no? Ayan, so maraming salamat po. Okay, so hindi ko na to patatagalin, Tutor Vida. Babasahin ko na ang aking script para maipakilala na ang ating unang-unang magpapakitang turo. Unang-una pa lang pangmalakasan na. Diba? Hindi ko sasabihin kung ano yung subject. I will let them introduce the subject that they will handle for this school year. Okay. But our first Itulay tutor mentee for the school year 2020-2021 is a graduate of Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in Mathematics at Polytechnic University of the Philippines, Manila, Tutor Vida, with flying colors. Rank 1 lang naman sa lahat ng mga graduates.
Kilala ko yata yan, di ba?
Sa lahat ng mga graduates ng PUP, ng batch 2016. Kung doon pa lang nalunod ka na at ako, Tutor Vida, dadagdagan ko pa, DOST Scholar lang naman to.
Yes.
Nakakalunod,
hindi
diba?
lang yun.
Sige, dagdagan mo pa.
Diba?
MTAT Scholar
writer
pa.
din na MTAT Scholar, writer natin ng math material sa buong Pilipinas. Diba?
Yes. At nakakarating rin to internationally yung mga output niya na for MTAT material. Currently,
Alam mo nga, Romel,
taking...
Tutor Romel, natatandaan ko, natutulog lang yan. Hindi talaga yan nag-aaral. Tapos sasabihin niya, Waterloo niya daw yon. That's my Waterloo, Miss Vida. Pero
talaga kita in-invite dito eh. Kasi
paglalabas na yung scores, perfect. Diba? Natutulog lang, pero perfect score.
Ayan, so talagang siguro na-excite na ang ating mga Itulay students na nanonood sa kanilang mga tahanan. Ito pa, he is currently taking up a Master of Arts in Education, major in secondary mathematics. Sir Eljun is from San Lorenzo Ruiz Senior High School, and this is his 5th year of teaching in that institution. Magkasama tayo dyan, di ba, Tutor Vida? Kaya lang
Tayong
iniwan na kami.
tatlo. Yes.
Currently, he will be handling subjects like business mathematics, organization and management, and business ethics and social responsibility. So sa ating mga Itulay students na nakatutok at mga Itulay viewers na nakatutok dyan sa ating mga different platforms, ano kaya ang ituturo nito? It's my pride and honor, no, Tutor Vida, to introduce the tutor mentee, Tutor Eljun. Good afternoon, Tutor Eljun.
Good afternoon. Kamusta naman dyan?
Parang ang lalayo eh, no?
Ayan, so maraming salamat naman dun, Sir Abanya, sa iyong pa-introduction. Medyo na-pressure ako dun. I have to live up dun sa pag-intro mo sa akin. Thank you very much, Sir Romel.
So, sige po, ibibigay na po namin ang screen sa iyo, Tutor Eljun. Ayan. So, let the Senior High School MATHPamilya teaching demonstration begin. Tutor Vida, babalik tayo mamaya.
Yes.
Ayan, so isang mainit at magandang gabi sa ating lahat. Biyernes na naman, ibig sabihin, makakasama natin ngayon ang mga ABM students na nagtitake ng Business Mathematics. Ako nga pala si Sir Eljun V. Meliumida from San Lorenzo Ruiz Senior High School. I am your tutor Eljun, and this is another episode for Itulay Online Tutorial for Business Mathematics. And today is September 17, 2021. Nagkataon, unang-unang episode ko ay birthday ko. And this is quarter 1, week 1. Our lesson for today is conversion of fractions, decimals, and percent into one another. Okay, so bago tayo magsimula, check muna natin kung kamusta ang ating mga viewers, no? Sabi ni Sir Abali kanina, mga nasa 12 million daw ang ating viewers. Nakakatuwa naman. Sana madagdagan pa ito, no? Especially katulad ng nabanggit ko kanina, sana ang dumagdag sa ating mga viewers mamaya-maya ay ang mga ABM students na nagtitake ng Business Mathematics. O kaya naman, kung hindi nagtitake ng Business Mathematics, kahit anong subject, basta nasa senior high school or kung gusto mag-advance, kung gusto ng inspiration mag-take ng ABM pagdating ng senior high school, kahit sino pwedeng manood. So pwedeng mga magulang, pwedeng mga teachers, kahit saang part ka man ng Pilipinas. Okay? So yan, check natin mula sa ating sa ating comment. Ayan, so happy birthday daw, Tutor. Happy birthday daw sa akin eh. Thank you very much po. That is from the page. And we also have we have a teacher from Schools Division Office of Pampanga. Ayun, nakakatuwa, no? So sobrang lalayo nila. Pero kasama natin sila ngayon para manood ng another episode na naman ng Itulay online tutorial. So meron din tayo dito, no, watching from Isabela. Ayan, hello to our mermaid, Tutor Vida. Hello da po, Sir Romel and Ma'am. Vida. Ayan, so I think nakamusta na natin sila. Sana yun nga, madagdagan sila, no? Lahat ay pwedeng manood sa episode na ito. Okay, so bago tayo magsimula, no, gusto ko lang ipaalam sa ating mga nangangailangan ng episode na ito, yung ating mga ABM students na nagtitake ng business mathematics, you have to prepare PBC. Ano ba itong PBC? Pauso ni Sir Eljun. So itong PBC ay ating papel, ballpen at calculator. So ulitin ko ha, you all have to prepare PBC, papel, ballpen at calculator. Yun ang kakailanganan natin throughout the episode throughout this another episode of Business Mathematics. So kakailanganan natin siya. Siyempre, this is mathematics, hindi natin pwedeng asahan na mareretain lang lahat sa utak natin. So we have to solve, no, we have to practice some of the lessons here para magkaroon tayo ng mastery. Okay? So I think all set na tayo, no? So we can start our lesson. So again, this is quarter 1, week 1, and our lesson is conversion of fractions, decimals, and percent. Let us have our objectives. Ano ba yung target natin ngayong araw? So katulad ng nabanggit ko kanina, at the end of this lesson, at the end of this learning episode, kayong mga nanonood ay dapat matuto kung paano mag-convert ng fraction to decimal and vice versa, decimal to percent and vice versa, and then lastly, percent to fraction and vice versa. So bottom line is, ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon is kung paano ba natin i-convert itong fraction, decimals, and percent into one another. Okay, so magsimula na tayo. Ano yung kakailangan natin? Springboard muna tayo. Ano-ano yung mga lesson na kailangan natin? So we first have to know kung ano ba itong fraction, ano yung decimal, ano yung percent. Because we cannot start converting them or doing anything, operating these numbers if we don't know what these numbers are. So first off, we have fractions. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng fraction? Fraction daw is a number that represents part of a whole. So ito yung nakikita natin na merong number sa taas, merong number sa baba, at merong guhit sa gitna. Ang tawag dun sa number na nasa taas ay numerator, yung nasa baba ay denominator, and then yung number na nasa gitna, ang tawag natin dun is fraction bar. So yung fraction, yung representation of part of a whole can mean anything. But basically, fraction can also be translated as an operation of division wherein the numerator is being divided by the denominator. So yun yung ating fraction. How about decimal? So decimal naman can be described as an expression for a fraction with powers of 10 as denominator. So ito naman yung isang nakalinya na number composed of different digits, and then merong isang tuldok. So isang tuldok ay pwedeng kahit nasaan, ang tawag natin dito ay decimal point. Sir, paano yung iba namin nakikita na merong more than one decimal point or merong more than one period? We cannot consider that. They are not considered as decimal. So maybe that is just a representation for an order. So numbering lang yon. Kasi when we talk about decimal, these numbers shall have only one decimal point. It can be placed anywhere else in the number. Okay? And lastly, we have percent. So ano naman itong percent? Sabi dito, percent is an expression for a number per 100 parts and is accompanied by a percent sign. So yung percent, kung hihiwalay natin sa etymologically speaking, we have the word per and we have the word cent. So pag sinabi nating per, it means each, no? Or part. Pag sinabi naman nating cent, it means 100. So per part or each part or part of 100. So yun yung definition ng percent. I hope we all are clear about these definitions kasi kakailanganan natin to in understanding how these numbers work and how these numbers are being converted into one another. All right? Okay, so let's start. Ayan, so sana lahat ay ready na, no? So let's start with the first one, converting fraction to decimal. So fraction again, yung merong dalawang number sa taas at sa baba, tapos merong fraction bar. Pero mas papalawigin natin ito, pwedeng magkaroon din ng whole number. So ito naman ay i-convert natin into decimal. So katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, itong fractions na to can be translated into an operation that has a division. So whereas the numerator is being divided by the denominator. By doing so, by dividing the numerator by the denominator, we can come up with decimal. That is how we convert fraction to decimal. So basahin natin yung nakalagay dito, ano? So take note that the fraction bar also means division, yung sinabi ko kanina, with numerator as the dividend. So ano ba yung dividend? Yung dividend yung number na dinidivide. Okay? and denominator as the divisor. Pag divisor naman, ito yung number na nagde-divide. So let's say for example, we have 3 over 2. Okay, 3 over 2, that can be translated to 3 divided by 2, wherein yung 3 is the dividend, 2 is a divisor. Si bali si 3, hahatiin natin ng dalawang beses. That's what it means pagka fraction converting to decimal. Moving on, for proper and improper fractions. Ano yung proper and improper fractions? Hindi ko na elaborate ito, no? Kasi as ABM students, there are certain assumptions, there are certain minimum qualifications for you to have. So dapat you already have an understanding of what proper and improper fractions are. But for the sake of our discussion, pag sinabi nating proper fraction, kapag ginawa natin itong decimal, it is less than 1. Okay? O kaya naman, by simply looking at the fraction, dapat yung numerator ay mas maliit kesa kay denominator. That's proper fraction. Pag improper fraction naman, it can be translated or in decimal term, a decimal form, these are numbers that are 1 or greater than 1. Okay? Or by simply looking at the fraction, pag improper siya, the numerator must be greater than or equal to the denominator. Okay, ayan, very good. So merong sumasagot sa ating sa ating live. That's very good. So I hope that we have an engagement, no? Meron tayong interaction kahit na ganito yung setup natin. That's very good. Okay, so for proper and improper fractions, simply divide the numerator by its denominator. So kapag daw proper or improper, malaki man maliit yung nasa taas or nasa baba kaysa dun sa nasa taas or nasa baba, what we have to do is simply divide it. No, so pwede tayong gumamit ng calculator kasi pasasan bang calculator, di ba? Ayan. But for now, we're going to use calculator. Later on, we're going to use different applications and devices for doing math. Okay? So, di-divide lang daw natin. Pagka mixed numbers naman or mixed fraction, mixed number naman is, pag sinabi nating mixed number, meron siyang fraction, yung fraction part, tsaka whole number part. Yung fraction part can be improper or proper. Now there are some difference between mixed numbers and mixed fractions, no? So just to give you an idea, pag sinabi nating mixed numbers, yung fraction part can be improper or proper. Pero pagka mixed fraction naman, pag mixed fraction naman, yung whole number part, then fraction part, the fraction part shall be a proper fraction. But we're not going to discuss that deeper. So mag-focus lang tayo dun sa idea na pag mixed numbers naman daw, ang gagawin natin is take the fraction part, so proper man or improper, and then change it to decimal. And then whatever the result is, we're going to add that to the whole number part. So let's take a look at some of these examples. Meron tayong mga examples dito. So first one, we have 4 we have 4 over 5 or 4/5, no? 4/5, pwede natin basahin in word form, 4/5 or simply 4 over 5. Kapag kinonvert natin yan into decimal, that would be 0.2, no? Yung katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, as ABM students, there are some assumptions, no? Dapat alam niyo na to, no? Without using calculator, dapat alam niyo na to. Pero for the purpose of our discussion, you may use your calculator to test if this is correct. You can also test this by doing long division, but either way, the results shall be the same. If it's not the same, then something must be wrong. So 4 over 5, when converted into decimal form, that would be 0.2. All right. For 17, let's have next example, 17 over 25. So 17 over 25, that's a proper fraction, di ba? Pag convert natin yan using long division or calculator, the answer should be 0.68. So kung mapapansin nyo, lahat yan, ayan, ito, proper fraction, improper fraction din, proper and improper. Ang ginawa natin lahat dyan ay dinivide lang natin yung numerator by the denominator. Now, sir, question, ano yung ganun? Ano yung sign na parang equal pero parang wave? Okay. So, ano ibig sabihin yan? Ito. Of course, alam na natin yung parallel lines. Ang tawag natin doon ay equal sign. Ito naman, just additional knowledge. This means approximately equal to. Okay? Bakit kailangan natin gamitin to, sir, instead of equal sign? Because ang ginawa natin dito is nag-round off tayo. 44 over 75, okay? Pagka ginawa niyo sa calculator yan, 44 over 75 is interminating. So, hindi yan na-terminate. Tuloy-tuloy yan. Continuous number yan. At itong 0.587 is not exactly equal 244/75. If that's the case, tandaan na, kapag yung decimal form is not exactly equal to the fraction given, or in simple terms, kapag yung decimal ay rounded off lang, or ni-round off lang natin mula doon sa nakuha natin using long division or calculator, ang gagamitin natin is approximately equal to this symbol. Okay, yung symbol na yan, hindi equal sign, because that would be mathematically incorrect. Okay, because they are not equal. Again, kapag yan ay ni-round off lang natin or approximation lang natin, that the symbol that we're going to use is approximately equal to instead of equal sign. Okay? Pero kung inaalaw naman ni teacher, no, kung inaalaw naman ni teacher ninyo to use calculator instead of using approximately equal to, that would be fine as long as there is consensus between you as students and your teacher. Okay? So okay na tayo dito sa mga proper at improper. Let's have this kind of number. This is mixed number. So anong sabi kapag mixed number? Kunin daw natin yung fraction part. Pag mixed number, kunin daw yung fraction part, no? And then gawin natin siyang decimal. So pwedeng long division or calculator. So let's have this one. 1 2/5 or 1 2/5. Take note, anong operation nga pala ang nag-exist between anong operation na nagko-connect doon sa whole number part and then sa fraction part? Okay, check na natin kung merong sasagot. Okay, so yung operation na nagko-connect doon sa 1 tsaka kay 2/5 ay plus. Okay? That's plus. Ibig sabihin 1 plus 2/5 is equal to 1 2/5. Hindi siya multiplication. Mali iyon. Okay? It's 1 2/5. So gagawin natin dito, we take out 2/5. And then we convert that into decimal. 2/5 is 0.4. Okay? 0.4. And then anong sabi? Whatever the result is, we're going to add that to the whole number part. In this case, our whole number part is 1. And so what we're going to do is to have 1 plus 0.4. And the answer is 1.4. That's what we do. That's what we do if the given is mixed number converting into decimal. Let's have another example. We have 5 and 13/10. Let's take out 13/10. 13/10 as a fraction, it's an improper fraction. When converted to decimal, that's 1.3. We have here 1.3. Tama? 13/10 is 1.3. And we have whole number, which is 5. So we have 5 plus 1.3. And the answer is 6.3. Okay? So meaning 5 and 13/10, when converted to decimal, that is 6.3. Okay, gets ba? Pwede ba ako makakuha ng react kahit thumbs up lang dito? Parang ano lang, parang messenger classroom lang. So if there's any way that you can inform me that you have understood the first part, fraction to decimal, please let me know through our comment section. Ay, o nga, no? 4/5 nga pala, there's a correction. 4/5 should be 0.8, no? Hindi pala 0.2. I'm sorry. Ibalikan natin ito. Yung sa first part. Ayan, so 4/5 is 0.8. It's not 0.2. My bad. Okay. Ayan, so paki-take note, mali yung nakalagay dito. It should be 0.8. Okay, so I hope that you realize that it's not important that you have the correct answer. It must be understood for all of us that the proper way is being followed. So maybe there's some error here kaya naging 0.2, but it should be 0.8. Okay? Next, we have decimal to percent. Okay, for decimal to percent naman, again, decimal is merong decimal point and percent is a number accompanied or suffixed by a percent sign. No? This is a percent sign. So, anong gagawin natin? To express decimal as percent, we only have to move the decimal point 2 places to the right. Ganun lang kasimple. And then we attach a percent sign. So, let's have this first example. We have 0.65. Diba? Gawin daw natin siyang percent. So anong sabi? We just have to move 2 decimal places to the right. Hindi ko alam kung anong view nyo rito, kung paano ba yung tingin nyo rito, but to the right. So ano bang, mahirap kasi baka naka-mirror view ako no? So just move 2 places to the right. So dito 0.65, papunta tayo dito sa may equal sign. So 1, 2. Okay, and that is 65. Tapos lagyan ng percent sign. Sir, saan napunta yung Saan napunta yung decimal point? Kapag yung decimal point ay nasa dulo naman na, as in nasa end na siya ng number, we don't have to write it, no? Pero kung gusto niyo, pwede naman 65 point, pero dugtungan niyo ng isang zero man lang. Pero kung 65 point, baka mabasa siya as mali or baka merong kulang na digit. So it's safe na i-drop na lang yung decimal point kapag nasa dulo na siya ng number. Ayan, so madali lang naman ito, That's how we convert decimal to percent. Okay, let's move forward to our next conversion. We have fraction to percent. Paano naman natin ko-convert yung fraction to percent? So to express a fraction as a percent, express the given fraction as a decimal, then move the decimal point 2 places to the right or multiply the result by 100, then add the suffix percent sign. The reason why I introduce first the fraction to decimal and then decimal to percent is that para mas madali na sa atin yung fraction to percent. So anong gagawin daw dito? We just have to convert fraction to decimal and then decimal to percent. How do we convert fraction to decimal? Pwedeng long division, pwedeng calculator. And then after that, whatever the result is, we convert to the percent. Paano ba natin ginagawa yon? We move 2 decimal places to the right and then add percent sign. So yun yung ginawa natin dito sa mga examples dito. Again, take note, meron tayong mga approximation again because these numbers are not exactly the same as the fraction ones given. Okay? Let's move forward. We have percent to decimal. How do we convert percent to decimal? To express percent as a decimal, drop the percent sign. That's the first step. Okay? Then move the decimal point of the given number 2 places to the left. This is the reverse naman ng decimal to percent. So gagawin natin, yung kapag percent yung given, tanggalin natin yung percent sign. And then kung nasaan yung decimal point, move 2 places to the left. Okay? Ngayon, pag wala kayong nakitang decimal point, ibig sabihin nasa dulo ng number yon. Sabawa, whole number siya. Ibig sabihin, nasa dulo siya. So we have to start moving from the last part 2 places to the left. Okay, that's what we do. That's how we convert percent to decimal. Let's move on to the next one. We have decimal to fraction. Ito medyo mahaba-haba, How do we convert decimal to fraction? Recall that decimals are another way of expressing fractions where the denominator is a power of 10. So that must be a hint. Hint yan, clue. Paano natin sisimulan yung pag-convert ng decimal to fraction? To write decimal as a fraction, we have to identify first what our numerator and denominators are going to be. Ano yung numerator natin? Yung taas. Yung numerator daw natin will be the whole number form of the given decimal. Mamaya, recall natin yon. Sabi, the numerator is the whole number form of the given decimal. The denominator will be 10 to the power of the number of the decimal places in the given. Masyadong maraming words, And then finally, get the lowest term of the resulting fraction. Although maraming words, you have to understand how this should be understood. Okay? Ayan, so punta tayo dito sa for example agad para okay. Alright, so we have 0.84. Ang kailangan natin gawin is convert this into fraction. How? Ang given natin is 0.84. Ang kailangan natin is numerator and denominator. Our numerator daw is the whole number form of the given decimal. 0.84. That is as simple as dropping off the decimal point. That means it's 84. So ang numerator natin ngayon is 84. How about the denominator? So ang denominator naman dyan is, bilangin natin kung ilang decimal places meron siya. Decimal places is kung ilang digit ang lahat meron. So we have 0.84, ilan yan? 1, 2, dalawa. Ibig sabihin yung denominator natin will be 10 raised to 2. And then we simplify that, we have 84 as our numerator, 10 raised to 2 as our denominator. When simplified, that is 84 over 100. Is that the final answer? No. We have to convert that or we have to get the lowest term of the resulting fraction. And 84 over 100, 84 and 100 are both divisible by 4. And so the answer is 84 divided by 4 is 21. 100 divided by 4 is 25. As simple as that. So yung numerator daw is the whole number form of the given decimal. the denominator is 10 raised to the number of decimal places present in the given decimal. And then simplify and then get the lowest term of the resulting fraction. Okay? Ayan, let's move on. I think this is the last one. Ayan, this is the last one. So percent to fraction, how do we do it? I hope you have dapat meron na kayong hint kung paano ginagawa itong percent to fraction since na-discuss na natin yung ibang part. So nagsimula tayo diba sa decimal to fraction and we already know how to convert percent to decimal. So yun yung bridging natin dito. Percent to fraction is percent to fraction is percent to decimal muna. Okay, percent to decimal muna. And then decimal to fraction. Ayan o. Paano ba yung percent to decimal? Di balikan natin ito. There's a reason why the presentation is like this. Okay, so percent to decimal, let's have 123%. So 123, gawin muna natin siyang decimal. Move 2 places to the left. 123 is a whole number, ibig sabihin nasa dulo yung decimal point. 2 decimal places to the left, that's 1.23, drop off the percent sign. So we have 1.23. We're going to start here for converting this into fraction. So whole number form of 1.23 is 123. And there are 2 decimal places in 1.23, meaning the denominator is 10 raised to 2. Getting the simplest, simplifying that, we have 123 over 100. At wala ng lowest term yan. Kasi 123 and 100 ay wala silang common divisor. Wala silang common factor. So we cannot get any lowest term from that. Okay? And then taking a look at some examples, parehas din ang process yan. So percent to fraction, percent to decimal, and then decimal to fraction. And then get the lowest term. Understood? Okay, so yan yung last natin. No? Yan yung last natin na conversion. But before we end our discussion, let's have some remarks. Ano ba may kailangan ninyong tandaan sa converting fractions, decimals, and percent into one another? So first one, fraction shall be expressed in its lowest term. Yun yung unang-una. No? Bakit kailangan nating i-convert yung fractions into lowest term? Para mas madali nating maiintindihan. Okay, kasi katulad kanina, yung 84 over 100, mas madali siyang maintindihan if it's 21 over 25. Hindi ba? Ayan. Thank you very much sa ating mga nanonood. Understood daw. Thank you very much. Another one is avoid rounding off the digits when it is not yet the final answer. So iwasan natin yung pag-round off ng answer kung hindi pa ito yung final answer. So for example dito muna. Yan. Bawa dito, percent to fraction. Ang bridge natin is percent to decimal and then decimal to fraction, hindi ba? Pagka percent to decimal natin, si decimal hindi natin pwedeng i-round off. So bawa dito, 98.5%, 0.985. Hindi natin siya pwedeng gawing 0.99. Saka natin gagawin siyang fraction. Mali iyon. Because the given is 98.5%. It should be the one converted to fraction. So wag tayo magra-round off. Wag kayo magra-round off kung hindi pa yon ang final answer. And then last one, make sure to round the digits off correctly and sufficiently. Correctly, alam nyo na yon, di ba? Kapag 4 pababa, pag 5 pataas. Sufficiently, ano ibig sabihin nun? Dapat enough lang yung pagkaka-round off. Naka-base na yun sa inyo or nakadepende na yun sa house rules ng teachers ninyo. Kung okay yung 2 decimal places, edi okay na yung 2 decimal places. If it's 3 decimal places, okay na yung 3 decimal places. But for you as ABM students, that targets to work in corporate world, in the corporate world, you must understand that just a simple difference between these decimal places can result to something large or something big. So you must be careful. Kaya dapat kayo mismo nakakaalam, enough na ba itong, sa problem na ito, enough na ba na 2 decimal places? Enough na ba na 3 decimal places? Nasa sa inyo na yun, nasa discretion ninyo yun. Okay? Ayan. So that's it for our lesson, for our exercise, no? Please just take a screenshot of the screen para makuha niyo siya, mapag-practicean ninyo. Okay, so mamaya bibigay ko yung contact information ko para kung sakaling meron kayong tanong, you can just email me or message me. All right, so that's our lesson, no, for this quarter. That is our lesson for conversion of fractions, decimals, and percent. Ayan, so may nag-hello pa, may humahabol pa sa ating sa ating live. Thank you and hello din. Sana ay meron kayong nadampot, no? Meron kayong natutunan from our discussion about this lesson. This is very very important because this is the starting point of the lessons ng lahat ng lessons sa business math. Gagamitin natin ito sa lahat ng lessons sa business math. Okay, so yan, tandaan natin. Ako nga pala Sir Elgin ulit, no? So tandaan natin, lamang ang may alam pero iba ang maparaan. So tandaan natin yan. Dahil sa business mathematics, kailangan lahat ay gawan natin ng solusyon. Lahat ay dapat nating solusyonan. Okay, so again, this is Sir Elgin V. Melyumida. I am your tutor, Elgin. Magsama-sama ulit tayo sa susunod na Biyernes, 4:40 p.m. hanggang 5:20 p.m. Medyo gabi-gabi na, pero subaybayan nyo pa rin, no? Suportahan nyo ito dahil para din naman sa inyo ito. Ayan, muli maraming salamat sa ating lahat at masayang lunch, masayang dinner pala, no? Na na si Sir. Ay masayang dinner sa ating lahat at paalam sa inyo. Bye-bye.
Hindi pa talaga babay, 'di ba? Kasi mag-uusap pa tayo. Alam mo, Tutor Romel, talaga naniniwala na ako na hindi pa sumasablay ang kakayahan ko sa mathematics. Natatandaan ko pa yung sinabi ng mga teacher ko. Sabi nila, convert the fraction first to a decimal, then move the decimal point 2 places to the right, and add the percentage symbol. Oh, di ba? May naka-double device. Naririnig ko yung second
Natatawa.
device.
Okay, natatawa ako sa aking laptop dahil medyo hindi siya nakikisama. Buti na lang na andito ang ating napakagwapong principal na makakasama nila mamaya, di ba?
Pakiulit yung una mong sinabi, yung description mo.
Na andito yung napakagwapong Tutor Eljun na makakasama nila sa business mathematics. Pinagtitripan na ako ng principal, ako na lang yung nakikita.
Inalis ako! Napakasama! Inalis ako nung
Okay,
sinabi
pero
ko.
by the way, congratulations, Tutor Eljun!
Yes! Congratulations!
Ayun, nandito na rin si Tutor Erwin.
Yes! O, syempre, magpapatalo ba yan kapag pagwapuhan ng pinag-uusapan, di ba?
Tama eh. Parang kailangan ko na talagang... Ayun, no? Pinaglalaroan tayo ng ating
May
principal.
pa-solo
Pero
frame! May pa-solo frame yan.
ang
Diba?
pinaka-highlight natin si Tutor Eljun, no? Tutor Eljun, how's the experience? Siyempre, nagpapatawa lang kami ng konti. Tonight and up.
Nakakakaba sa start, syempre. Pero once ma-open na yung episode, okay na siya sa mga susunod.
Yes, same experience. Ganyan rin ako noon, Tutor Vida and Tutor Erwin. Ganyan rin ba kayo no nung nag-uumpisa?
Yes, ako.
Tutor Vida?
Siguro mga 2 session na talagang kinakabahan ba talaga ako? Pero nung nasanay na ako, syempre laging nag-e-air once in a while, yon. So, sanay na. And then, alam na natin, yung cue, ting! Kapag tumulog yun, ready na, di ba? Yung mga cue natin.
Yes. Ayan, isa sa ating mga 12 million viewers na nanonood ay from San Gabriel Senior High School Standalone, La Union Division. Hello po mga kaguro. So hello rin po sa inyong lahat dyan. Kanina nag 17 million viewers na tayo eh. Tutor Erwin, ikaw naman, ganun rin ba yung experience mo nung nag-uumpisa?
Ako kasi sinalang mo agad nun yung unang beses. Ayan, ganun talaga no, na syempre umpisa kaya pero sa mga susunod na session parang gamay na gamay mo na yung Basta yung passion mo nandoon eh, kaya madali na lang sa mga susunod na session. Basta yung mga kaitulay natin dyan ay patuloy na sumusuporta, mas magaan na yung ating gagawing online tutorial, di ba?
Yes. And once again, congratulations no, Tutor Eljun. Talagang alam na alam ni Tutor Eljun yung kanyang napiling subject expertise. Talagang like na like. Sabi ko nga dito sa comment, like. Katulad nung sinabi rin ni Tutor Eljun and ni Tutor Erwin, medyo nalilito na ako Saka si Tutor Vida, like. At napakahusay po. Thank you, Tutor Eljun. At muli po, invite natin sila sa inyong session bago tayo mag-proceed sa susunod nating Senior High School Math Pamilya Tutor.
Okay, so every Friday, no? Every Friday ay episode ng Senior High School Business Mathematics para sa ABM students. Pero again, kahit sino pwedeng manood. Every Friday, 4:40 p.m. to 5:20 p.m. Thank you very much po.
Okay, thank you rin, Tutor Eljun. So abangan natin, patikim pa lang yan sa binigay sa atin ni Tutor Eljun. And dako na tayo sa susunod. Tutor Eljun, muli po maraming salamat. And kita-kits later. Ayan, so iiwan na natin sa stream, Tutor Vida. Nandiyan ka pa ba or dumudugo ng iyong ilong at brain?
Nandito pa, di ba? Kailangan natin yan sa mathematics. Ang dami ko kayang natutunan ngayong araw. Hello, akala ko or iniisip ko lang na kapag sinabi natin percentage averaging, di ba? Pero meron pa tayong dividend, divisor, di ba? Ang dami ko talagang natutuhan dito sa lesson natin, business mathematics, 'di ba? Kung paano tayong magko-convert. Pero fraction.
So alam na natin kapag di available si Tutor Romel saka si Tutor Eljun, naandyan si Tutor Vida para mag-sub for business mathematics.
Hindi kayo sure dyan. Alam nyo naman pag language, 'di ba? Waterloo ang numbers. Sige lang kung gusto nyo talaga.
Ayan. Thank you, Tutor Vida, Tutor Eljun. And of course, iiwan natin dito si Tutor Erwin para ipakilala ang ating susunod na Itulay Senior High School Math Pamilya na magpapakitang turo. Tutor Eljun, take it. At Tutor Erwin, take it away.
Ayan. Our next Itulay tutor is a Doctor of Philosophy in Education student at La Consolacion University of the Philippines, majoring in Educational Leadership and Management. She received a Master of Arts in Teaching Mathematics from Eugelio Amang Rodriguez Institute of Science and Technology and a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics from Polytechnic University of the Philippines. She lectured on topics such as college entrance test preparation, high school entrance test preparation, civil service test preparation, career service executive officer examination, and law aptitude examination preparation at MSA Academic Advancement Institute. In addition to handling tutorials, she was a contributor to MSA Publishing House's PPT Reviewer Level Grade 9 book, which was published and printed. Casio Calculator Philippines has invited her to come as a teacher resource speaker for grades 8 to 11 in SDO Pasig. She is also a supporter of many events and a writer for printed and digital learning modules in senior high mathematics. She is currently employed at Eusebio High School as a senior high school math teacher. Siyempre dito sa SDO Pasig. Her experience as a review center lecturer and a public senior high school teacher has enabled her to be more adaptable in dealing with students of all levels, and this, she feels, will prepare her for the challenges that await her when she begins tutoring here in DepEd Itulay. Good evening po. Let us welcome Tutor Zara Jane Astete. Tutor Zara.
Ayan, magandang buhay po. Gandang buhay po sa ating lahat.
Ayan, sige, Tutor Zara, take it away.
Yan, so, Siyempre, papasalamat tayo sa Panginoon sa panibagong araw na ibinigay niya sa bawat isa sa atin. Okay, panibagong araw na naman upang matuto ng pre-calculus. Siyempre, so shoutout natin yung mga, especially sa ating mga STEM students na nakikinig sa atin ngayon. Hopefully, may nakikinig sa ating STEM students. Ayan. So ngayon, ating munang tingnan, ating i-shout out ang mga nanonood, ang ating mga viewers sa araw na ito. Ayan, kay Ma'am Glenda Astudillo watching from San Gabriel Senior High School, standalone na Union Division. Hello po, hello po sa ating lahat. Okay, so atin ang simulan. Okay, good morning. I am your tutor Zara, your tutor pal in pre-cal. Okay, so this is our first week lesson. First week lesson natin, an overview of conic, section, and circle. So this is for first quarter week 1. So for our learning objectives at the end of the lesson, you are expected to first illustrate the different types of conic section, parabola, ellipse, circle, hyperbola, and the degenerate conics. Number 2, define circle. Number 3, graph a circle with center at 0, 0, and HK given an equation in center radius form. Okay. A conic section, or simply conics, is the intersection of a plane and a double right circular cone. Lying entirely of cone is called a generator. Sir, makikita natin yung mga intersecting lines dyan, okay, na dumadaan sa vertex ay ang tinatawag natin na generator. Okay? So, and all generators of a cone pass through its vertex.
Ayan, Tutor Sara, mukhang may konting technical issue lang. Ibabalik natin yung ating PowerPoint presentation maya-maya lang. Masyadong excited. Ayan, yan na.
Ayun na nga ba ang sinasabi ko?
Sige, pwede namang ulitin para at least makita yung ganda ng ating PowerPoint. Pa-full screen na lang, Tutor Zara.
Ayan na nga ba ang sinasabi ko?
Ayun.
Ayan. Ayan, masyado tayong na-overwhelm, no? Sa ating first day. At syempre, excited si Tutor Zara na mag-share sa ating mga estudyante. At nakalimutan natin mag-share screen. Ayan. So, I am your tutor, Zara. Again, your tutor pal in pre-cal. Our first lesson, okay, in week 1. Okay, in pre-calculus, an overview of conic section and circle. So, that's first quarter week 1. Okay, for our learning objectives at the end of the lesson, you are expected to illustrate the different types of conic section, parabola, ellipse, circle, hyperbola, and degenerate conics. Number 2, define circle, a graph, circle with center at 0, 0, and HK, an equation in center radius form. A conic section, or simply conic, is the intersection of a plane and a double right circular cone. A line lying entirely on the cone is called the generator of the cone. And all generators of a cone pass through its vertex, which is the only point where two naps intersect. Ayan. So kung makikita nyo, lahat po ng line na nagpa-pass through doon sa vertex, ayan, tinatawag natin na generators. There are basically two types of conics, degenerate and non-degenerate. A degenerate conics is either a point, a line, or two intersecting lines. It is formed when a plane intersect a double right circular that pass through its vertex. Ayan. So, tingnan natin yung mga figures. Okay. So, yan yung kapag point, makikita natin kapag line and two intersecting lines. A non-degenerate conics is either a parabola, an ellipse, or a hyperbola. These conics can be characterized by the number of generators which are parallel to a cutting plane. Suppose a plane intersects a right circular cone such as conic form in non-degenerate. Ayan sila. So, yun yung apat na non-degenerate conics natin. Okay? Yan. So let's define one by one natin silang i-describe. Okay? So let's have the first one, a parabola. So as you can see in figures 1.7, yan. If the cutting plane is parallel to one and only one generator, the curve of intersection is parabola. A parabola is formed when the plane intersect only one cone to form an unbounded curve. So, kung makikita nyo siya, ayan. So, kung makikita natin siya, yung parabola, nag-intersect lang siya doon sa one part ng cone. Okay, yan. Doon, and then magpo-form siya ng unbounded curve. If the cutting plane is not parallel to any generator, that is, it cuts all generators, the curve of intersection is called an ellipse naman. Okay, so an ellipse is formed when the intersecting plane intersects one and only one cone to form a bounded curve. So kanina, kung si parabola ay unbounded curve, si ellipse naman ay bounded curve. Ibig sabihin, naka-close siya. Ayan. Close ang kanyang figure na na-form. So given this description, it is possible that the cutting plane is parallel to the base of the cone. In this case, the curve of intersection is a circle. This means that circle is a special type of ellipse. Okay, bakit? Kasi si ellipse naman, okay, si ellipse ay ang circle ay parang ellipse but this time, si circle ay parallel doon sa base ng cone. Yan. Kaya kung makikita nyo, si ellipse form siya na parang mahaba or oblong while si circle naman ay bilog. Yan. Yung perfect na circle kasi parallel siya sa base ng cone. So, ibig sabihin hindi siya lumihis. Yon. So, a circle is formed when the plane not passing through the vertex is horizontal. Okay? Ayan. If the cutting plane is parallel to two generators, the curve of intersection is a hyperbola. Okay? See figure 1.10. Okay? A hyperbola is formed when the plane, okay, not necessarily vertical. Okay? Hindi siya kailangan na patayo talaga mismo. Okay? Intersects both cones to form two unbounded curves. Okay? So, parang naging dalawang parabola siya. Okay? Kanina kasi si parabola, nag-intersect lang siya sa isang part ng cone. But this time, sa dalawang cone na siya nag-intersect. So, kaya, nag-form tayo ng two unbounded curves. So, ganyan ang itsura niya. Okay? So, as you can see in figure 1.10. Okay? So, let's have an activity. So, tingnan natin. Okay. So, tingnan natin sa ating mga viewers kung nakikinig sila. Ayan. So, activity lang naman natin ay true or false. Okay. Okay pa ba kayo dyan? Type 1 sa mga okay pa? Type 1 sa mga okay pa dyan. Okay, so let's have true or false. Okay. A conic section or simply conic is the intersection of a plane and a double right circular cone. So, tingnan natin. Okay, ayan. Okay, if your answer is true, then your answer is correct. Okay. True or false ulit? All generators of a cone is passing through its vertex. Okay. If your answer is true, then your answer, or the statement again, your answer is correct. A non-degenerate conic is either a point, a line, or two intersecting lines. Ayan. Okay, the answer is false. Bakit false? Okay, dahil ito ay degenerate conic. Yon, tama. Number 4, a non-degenerate conics can be characterized by the number of generator which are parallel to a cutting plane. Okay, so the answer is true. Okay, if your answer is true, then you are correct. True or false? A parabola is formed when the plane intersects only one cone to form a bounded curve. Ano kaya itsura ng parabola? Isipin natin. Ano kaya itsura ng parabola? Okay. So the answer is false. Bakit? Dahil, 'di ba? Close ba ang parabola? Is it bounded? Okay, so correct, no? So since ang parabola ay korteng okay, pag ano, no, U, pag, or inverted U, pwedeng to the right, to the left. Okay, so, but then, okay, hindi siya close. So, kaya false ang sagot kasi it's unbounded curve. It is possible that the cutting plane is parallel to the base of the cone. In this case, the curve of intersection is an ellipse. Okay. So, if your answer is false, then you are correct. Okay, bakit? Because kapag, okay, ang cutting plane ay parallel to the base, that is not an ellipse, but circle. Okay. A hyperbola is formed when the plane, okay, not necessarily vertical, sabi nga doon kanina, di ba? Intersects both cones to form two unbounded curves. Okay, so isipin natin. Okay, if your answer is true, then your answer is correct. Okay, so now let us go to circles. So circles, it is possible to recognize a graph equations of circles with relative ease. We know from geometry that a circle consists of all points that are at a fixed distance R, its radius from a fixed point C, its center. So tingnan natin. Yan, no? So makikita natin dyan, si point C, ang tawag dyan sa point C. Okay, si point C ay tinatawag natin na center. Okay, while R, ang tinatawag natin na radius. And si point ay any point on the circle. Okay, suppose that a circle is located in a Cartesian plane so that its center is 0, 0 and its radius R. Okay, yan. So, if a point PXY is okay. So, ganito magiging itsura niya. If the center is at 0, 0, or nandoon siya sa gitna, no? Okay, at the origin. Okay, then ikakabit natin siya doon sa any point on the circle. Let's say, point P. Okay, so ang distance from point C to point P ay tinatawag natin na radius. Okay, that is R units. Okay. Yan. So, paano nga ba natin malalaman kung ano yung magiging equation ng circle na yan if the center is at the origin? So, let R be the distance between C and P. So, babalikan natin ngayon ang ating distance formula. So, since STEM student, so parang prerequisite natin to, no, na dapat alam natin kung ano yung distance formula. So, D is equal to the, square root of x sub 2 minus x sub 1, squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. Okay. So using this formula, the distance between 0, 0 and xy is given in the equation. So, ang gagawin natin is substitute lang natin. Okay? Substitute lang natin yung 0, 0 doon sa ating formula ng distance formula. Ayan. So, kung makikita nyo, no? Ayan. And yung D, ano napansin nyo sa D? Yung D ay naging, ano nangyari sa D? Ayan. So, tama, no? Naging R si D. Okay. Kasi, since si R ay, let's say, nakalagay nga dito, let R be the distance between C and P. So, si D, pinalitan natin siya na R. Okay. So, ngayon, ano mangyayari? So, pinalitan natin si X sub 1 tsaka si Y sub 1 ng 0, 0 since we are looking for the distance between 0, 0 and point xy. Yan. So then, now we have square root of x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared is equal to r. Or, as simply as x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. So meron na tayo ngayon na meron na tayo ngayon standard form, okay, ng ating equation for circle. Okay, so that is x squared plus y squared equals r squared, which is having a center 0, 0. Yan. So having center is 0, 0. Center radius form, equation of the circle with center at 0, 0. So, ayan. So, meron na tayo ngayon na-derive na natin ang equation natin, ang center radius form equation of a circle with center at 0, 0. So, let's have an example. Find the center radius or standard form equation for the circle of radius 4 with center at the origin 0, 0 and sketch its graph. So ngayon, pati yung pag-graph, okay, yan, pag-aaralan natin ngayon. So pati yung pag-graph ng center radius form. Okay. So solution. So ngayon, first, anong gagawin? So doon sa ating standard form, ipapalit natin or substitute natin yung 4 sa R since the given radius is 4 units. Okay? So, substitute natin si 4. So, now we have, yan. So, from x squared plus y squared equals r squared. So, we're going to substitute 4 for r. Then, we will get x squared plus y squared is equal to 4 squared. So, simplify lang natin yon. So, we will get x squared plus y squared is equal to 16. Ayan. So, kung nakuha nyo x squared plus y squared is equal to 16, yan, then that is correct. Okay, so susunod naman natin yung sketching the graph of x squared plus y squared equals 16. So, anong una natin gagawin? Step 1. So, hanapin natin yung center. Nasaan daw yung center? Nasa 0, 0. So, yan. So, hanapin yung pinakagitna or the intersection of x-axis and y-axis. So, that is the origin. So, center at 0, 0. So, next, step 2. Okay, since the given is radius r, okay, is equal to 4. So, therefore, anong gagawin natin? So, from 0, 0, bibilang tayo ng tiga, 4 na units. Okay, 4 na units sa kaliwa, 4 na units sa kanan, 4 na units sa taas, at 4 na units sa ibaba. Okay? Gets? Okay. So, yan. So, ngayon, after na natin masukat yung 4 units sa taas, baba, kaliwa at kanan, anong susunod sa tingin nyo na gagawin natin? Okay, so, kailangan na natin mag-form ng circle. So, anong gagawin natin? Okay, so, yon. Tama. Pagkakabit-kabitin natin lahat ng mga points kung nasaan, kung saan tayo huminto, no? So, yung mga pagbibilang natin kanina ng 4 units. So, ngayon, ang gagawin natin ay, pagkakabit-kabitin natin yung 4 na, to form a circle. Ayan. Okay, so ganyan ang magiging itsura niya. Okay? Yan. So, connect the 4 points to form a circle. Yan. So, therefore, the graph of x squared plus y squared is equal to 16. Sorry, this is 16. Okay, is equal to x squared plus y squared is equal to 16. Edit muna natin to. So, this is 16. Yan. Okay, yan. So, ngayon, kung na-sketch na natin, so, sabi nga nila, sketch. Okay, so, marami na tayong applications like Desmos, GeoGebra, na ma-check natin, okay, kung tama ang ating sagot. Pero syempre, as beginner, so dapat malaman muna natin kung ano yung tamang way ng pag-graph. So that's why we are sketching a graph. Okay, yan. So para ma-check natin kung tama ang ating mga sagot, we can use different scientific calculators with graphing calculators na mada-download din naman natin sa ibang So that's for checking. Okay, so yan. So for our activity, find the center radius or standard form equation for the circle of radius 2/3 with center at the origin 0, 0. Okay? So tingnan nga natin. Okay. So ano yung una nating i-consider dapat? Okay, so dapat natin consider muna yung ating standard form. X squared plus y squared is equal to r squared. So if the center is at the origin. Okay, then what's next? Okay, so now we're going to substitute 2/3 for r. Okay, yan. So ngayon, x squared. Okay, kita ba? Plus y squared is equal to 2/3 squared. Okay, so magkakaroon lang tayo ng konting review sa ating fractions, no? Okay. Then sunod, x squared plus y squared is equal to so applying the law of exponent, so kapag ganyan, so naka-squared si fraction, so i-square natin both numerator and denominator. So that's 2 squared is equal to 4. Okay. And then 3 squared is equal to 9. Okay? Yan. So tingnan natin, check natin kung tama ang ating sagot. Okay, so x squared plus y squared is equal to 4 or 9. So nakuha nyo ba? Pareho ba tayo ng sagot? Okay, so check nga natin ang ating mga comments. Okay, very good. So, nakuha naman nila ang tamang sagot. Ayan. So, konting review lang tayo sa ating fraction, no? Operations with fractions. Okay na? Oh, yan. Okay, very good. Maraming nakakuha ng tamang sagot. Okay. So now, pupunta naman tayo sa general naman tayo na form ng ating circle. Okay, so again, syempre, dun babalik tayo ulit sa basic, no? Which is the distance formula, kung saan ang galing yung equation of circle natin. So by distance formula, D is equal to the square root of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared, again, plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. So x and y satisfy the equation. So anong mangyayari? Okay, so dito naman, si center ay wala sa 0, 0. Ano daw ang center natin? So, ang ating center ay, okay, correct, HK. So, ngayon, si HK, ipapalit natin sa X sub 1 tsaka sa Y sub 1. Okay? So, therefore, again, papalitan natin yung D ng R. Okay? Kasi let R be the, kanina, let R be the distance between C and P. Okay, so distance from center to any point on the circle. So, yun ang ating R. So, the radius. Okay, ngayon, papalitan natin ng X sub 1 at saka yung Y sub 1 ng HK. So, now, we'll have square root of X minus H squared plus Y minus K squared equals R. Okay, so by squaring both sides, so, para matanggal natin yung square root, no? Yan. Okay, correct. So, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. So, yan. Ang gagaling ng mga estudyante natin. Okay? Yan. Okay, are you still awake? So, like sign naman dyan, heart. Okay. Like sign para sa mga nakakagets. Heart naman dyan sa mga buhay pa ang dugo. Okay. And I'm hoping na nasusundan natin, no, yung ating pagkuha ng center radius form. Okay. Yan. Equation of the circle. So, center radius form equation of a circle with center at HK. Okay. So, ngayon ipapaliwanag naman natin. Paano naman po, ma'am, kung hindi na 0, 0 ang kanyang center? Okay, so ganito. So now we have x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. So where r is greater than 0, syempre, no? Kasi we're dealing with distance, correct? Okay. So example number 2, find the center radius equation for the circle of radius 4 with center at the origin negative 1, 3. Okay, and sketch its graph. Okay, so ngayon, again, step by step natin yung sketch ang graph. Okay, so with radius 4 and center, okay, center at negative 1, 3. Okay, so wala na yan sa origin, ano? So wala na siya sa origin. So negative 1, 3. So mali yung nakalagay sa PowerPoint natin. So dapat with center at negative 1, 3. Okay? Yan. Find the center radius form. So we have the solution, substituting 4 for r, negative 1 for h, and 3 for k, since hk is equal to negative 1, 3. So in this case, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. Yan. So, hindi na lang siya ngayon x squared plus y squared. So, since we have the vertex not equal to the origin, so meron na tayong hk. So, mababago ang ating form. Ayan. So, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared. Yan. So, substitute natin si h ng negative 1, si 3 naman for k. So, now we have x minus negative 1 squared plus y minus 3 squared is equal to 4 squared since r is equal to 4. Okay, so simplify. So we now have x plus 1 squared plus y minus 3 squared is equal to 16. Ayan. Okay? Sige. Okay. Paano naman po siya mag-graph? Sketches graph. Okay. Okay. So now, plot the center given its coordinate. In this case, ang ating coordinates for the center is negative 1, 3. So wala na siya sa origin. No? So same process. Okay. So kung ano yung process natin kanina, but this time, hindi na 0, 0 ang ating origin. Okay. So plot the 4 points of the circle using the given R. Okay. Ano ulit yung R natin? So distance, ang R natin is equal to 4. So, ganun ulit. So, since R is equal to 4, therefore, so from negative 1, 3, bibilang tayo ng 4 units. Okay, bilang tayo ng 4 units pakaliwa. Okay, negative 1, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 sa kaliwa. Okay, again, balik tayo sa negative 1, 3. Okay, so babalik na naman tayo sa negative 1, 3. Okay, and then 4 units na naman pa kanan. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Bilang lang kayo ng okay. So ayan. Bibilang kayo ng 4 units sa kanan. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And then 4 units pataas naman. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4 pataas, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 pababa, as you can see in figure 3.3. Okay? So importante 'yan. Okay? Next, step 3. Connect the 4 points to form a circle. So, since we are sketching a graph of a circle, so dapat pag kinonekta natin sila, okay, so dapat mukha siyang bilog. Ano? Yan. Yan. So, ba't parang hindi mukhang bilog yung kay teacher? Okay, so bilog yan. Okay, so kanina, ayan. So, negative 1. So, ano yung negative 1? 4 units to the left. So, that is negative 5. So, kung nakikita nyo sa figure 3.4, nandun siya sa negative 5, diba? Okay, so negative 1, 3. 4 units to the left. At to the right. So, bibilang tayo from negative 1, 4 units to the right. So, that is positive 3. Okay. So, nakikita niya no, sa figure 3.4, ang ating kanan ay positive 3. Okay. How about 4 units up? So, 3 ang ating y coordinate. So, 4 units up, dapat nasa 7 kasi 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. Yan. So, ngayon, so from y coordinate na 3, pababa, 4 units, so 3 minus 4. So, dapat nasa negative 1. Okay, dun yung ma-check yun. Okay, so therefore, okay, we have this graph, x plus 1 squared plus y minus 3 squared is equal to 16. Ayan. So, yan na ating, so for our activity, okay, find the center radius equation for the circle of radius 13 with center at 4, negative 5. Ayan. So, okay. So, may naisingit doon, no? So, wala yan dapat. So, find the center radius equation for the circle of radius 13 with center at 4, negative 5. So, ngayon, again, so balikan natin, no? Yung center radius form natin. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared, okay, is equal to r squared. Okay? Yan. So, ano natin? Ano yung hk natin? Hk po natin ay 4, negative 5. Okay, while r is equal to 13. Okay. Yan. So, papalitan lang natin siya. Okay, papalitan natin. Okay, so now we have, okay, x minus 4 squared plus y minus negative 5 squared is equal to 13 squared. Okay? Yan. So, ano susunod? Simplify natin. X minus 4 squared plus y plus 5 squared is equal to, what is 13 times 13? So, 13 times 13 is equal to 169. So, therefore, this one is our final answer. Okay. Yan. So, that is the center radius equation for the circle, okay, of radius 13 with center at 4, negative 5. Okay? Yan. So, tingnan natin. Pareho ba tayo ng sagot? Okay? Check niyo ang inyong mga answer, class. Kung pareho tayong mga sagot. Press like sa mga pareho ko ng sagot. Ayan. So, sa mga may nagkamali lang na sign, okay? Yung mga naging minus, okay? Kung halimbawa, minus, yan. So, be careful. Okay? So, para sa susunod, alam niyo na, no? So, kasi, we are in, the form of x minus h. Okay, yan. So, since x minus h and y minus k tayo, so dapat be careful with this, no? So, lalo na sa mga sign natin, since the given is negative 5, that is y minus negative 5. Okay, so yun yung ating common mistakes na dapat, yan. So, practice. Okay? So, para sa susunod, lelesen na natin yung mistakes na mga ganon. Ano? Yan. So, okay? Yan. So, thank you sa pakikinig sa araw na ito. Okay? So, syempre, sabi nga ni tutor, practice. Okay? Practice makes perfect. So, yan. So, ngayon, bibigyan ko kayo ng pagpapracticean sa bahay. Ayan. So, okay. So, for our assignment, so medyo magkakaroon tayo ng mare-recall natin kung paano tayo i-square ng ng may radical sign. Okay? So, find the center radius equation for the circle of radius square root of 11 with center at 3, 7. Okay. So, maraming salamat muli mga bata. Okay, yan. So, may natutunan naman tayo mali at sa na why. Okay, nakatulong ang itulay. Okay, para maitulay. Okay, yung mga pangailangan. Okay, or ang mga hindi masyadong iintindihan natin sa klase. Okay, maraming salamat muli. Okay, this is your Tutor Zara, your tutor pal in pre-cal. Maraming salamat. Hanggang sa muli.
Ayan, Tutor Sara, napakagaling naman, no? Medyo nag-enjoy lang ng konti. Ayan.
Oh my God.
Tutor Sara, pakitakpan na yung iyong whiteboard marker. Baka matuyot kasi pwede pang magamit sa mga susunod na session. Congratulations, no, Tutor Erwin. Talagang
very comprehensive.
Parang nararamdaman ko na yung wala talagang manunod sa'yo, no? Oh
hindi
my
kasi
God.
pa lang tayo, hindi pa tayo nagla-live through the pangmalakas ang mga FB page ng DepEd. So ito pa lang, 'di ba? Nakaka 10 million viewers na tayo. Hindi tayo bumababa sa 10 million viewers talaga, 'di ba, Tutor Erwin?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, alam ko na rin. Sige, Tutor Erwin.
My God.
Kumusta naman, Tutor Sara? Kasi ako inip na ako dito. Hindi pa ako nakaka-uwi.
Parang kahit ako yung mismo, parang ako rin, parang nainip.
Hindi, pero okay yung yung may yung whiteboard, no, at least
kasi gabi nga, so yung mga students talagang hindi natin na-expect na nanonood ngayon, no, dahil alas 7 na. Pero yung strategy na yun ay makakatulong sa mga students, no, para maintindihan nila ng maayos, kasi parang nasa classroom sila na nakikinig sa teacher, no, kasi may whiteboard.
Oh, tsaka iba pa rin. Si Tutor Rev.
Di ba? Okay,
Diba?
sandali, nandito rin pala. Akala ko nasa meeting na with the mangyan. Diba?
Ayaw mo ako papasukin. Gumawa pa, sabi ni Tutor Zara, mag-practice, gumawa pa ako ng cone. Diba?
Ay, sorry po.
Ready
Sandali,
pa ako.
Pakita natin yung cone. Pakita natin yung cone.
Ito, gumawa ako ng cone, tapos sabi kasi, a conic section is a curve obtained in the intersection of the surface of a cone with a plane. Tapos ngayon, dahil ang haba nung session nyo, sabi ko, ito yung cone, ano yung itsura ng circle? Ito yung circle sa loob ng cone. Ito yung
very good ka dyan, Tutor Jim.
Mas malaki. Tapos ito yung parabola. Nahahati na yung circle, di ba? Lumalaki. Tapos ito yung hyperbola. Mas maliit sa parabola.
Dalawa.
Dalawang parabola.
Ready ako. Tapos hindi mo ko, pinapakita dito sa... Kala mo kahit language ako, yung mga mat na yan.
Tutor Vida, ipapakilala kita sa isa pang maganda nating tutor mentor for senior high school math pamilya. Kaya talaga medyo matagal si Tutor Sara kasi kapapasok lang, di ba? At katatapos ng mag-MC niya ni Tutor Rev. Tutor Rev, hello! Ay, nakamute po, Tutor Rev.
Stress ako.
Sabi ko nga, Tutor Erwin, Tutor Vida, and Tutor Sara, sige lang ma'am, sige, enjoy mo lang ang pag-MC mo dyan. Siguradong may way si Lord para makahabol ka. Ito nga talaga si Tutor
yun
Sara.
nga. Sinadya ni Tutor Sarang mag-extend para makahabol si Tutor Rev.
Parang may pag-uusap kayong dalawa, Tutor Rev, na hindi namin namalayan. Tama po ba?
Wala na eh.
Nakakaloka.
You are just in time, Tutor Rev, dahil naghihintay na ang iyong tutor mentee na maipakilala. Diba? Tutor Vida, baka meron ka munang isa-shoutout bago natin ipakilala ang ating
Tutor Romel, bago nyo ipakilala yung inyong susunod na mentee, sasamantalahin ko na itong spotlight ng Senior High School Mathematics kasi magpapaalam na ako. Okay, di ko natatapusin. Meron akong meeting kasi brigada eskwela ngayon. Huwag kang dyan, Tutor Erwin. Kasi isang division lang kami, di magkakalaban kami ngayon.
Mamaya may pa-promote rin kami.
Meron kami
Magkalaban ba tayo?
large school category.
Large school.
Yes. So ayun, meron kaming concert for ako. Sayang di ako sana i-share ko rin yung screen para makita yung GIF na poster namin.
Nahihiya ka pa talaga ha?
Yes, nahihiya ako nito. So ayun, meron kaming concert for ako sa September 10. Ito ay ilo-launch ng Pasig City Science High School because we have this indigenous group of people. It was our Adopt a School program. Mangyan Group. Ito yung may pinakamalaking Mangyan School sa Mindoro. We will give ICT packages, emergency kits, and two-way radio at kung ano pa yung kailangan nila. And hope soon makapag-donate kami ng classroom dito sa Mindoro. Kaya inaanyayahan ko po kayo na sa September 10 po ay panoorin niyo po ang aming concert for ACOS para sa aming Brigada Adopt a School Mangyan Community. Yun lang. So, thank you for having me.
Tutor Vida?
Yes, kakanta ako doon. Si Lindy yun. Tapos yung mga alone, ganyan. Mga ganon. Sample pa lang. Abangan.
Parang kumulo. Parang may narinig akong kulog.
Parang mababa pa yung tutor video.
Parang nababamaan pa ako dun sa till now.
Siyempre may professional fee kapag kinanta natin ng mas maganda talaga. Kaya ganun lang muna yung sample.
So, nakakahiya naman sa 10 million viewers ngayon sa Senior High School Math Pamilya kung hindi mo tataasan yung till now mo, yung alone mo.
Parang dito yata masisira yung career ko sa pag-invite niyo sa akin. Anyway, ayun, maraming salamat. Congratulations sa math tatalinong tutor ng Senior High School Math Family dito sa aming masayang pamilya sa Itulay. Thank you.
Ayan, ganyan
Papaalam
kasaya
na
sa
ako.
Itulay, di ba?
Yes.
Ayan. Thank you, Tutor Vida, Senior High School
Thank you.
Program Head ng Filipino. Kita-kits, Tutor Vida, sa vlog namin ni Tutor Erwin, ha?
Yes.
Naka-reserve ka na.
Subscribe ko na rin kayo.
Yes. Naka-subscribe ka na, di ba?
Oo, hindi lahat ng account ko actually.
Okay.
Go.
Very good.
Gumawa
Gumawa
ka
mga
ng
tao
maraming
dito sa
email
amin.
lahat.
Tapos lahat yun manonood, no? Sige na.
Ay, nawala
Muna ako
si Tutor
remove.
Sara. Bakit?
Remove
Ano,
muna
wala
ako
yun?
sa frame.
Okay, sige.
Sige, thank you.
Dahil, yun nga, congratulations Tutor Sara and Tutor Erwin.
Nasaan na si
At
Tutor
ngayon-
Sara?
Kaya nga, nalaglag yung... Ay, ayan, eto na. Eto na. Ayun.
Alisin mo na ako dito.
Nalaglag.
Ayan, Tutor Sara, invite mo na ang ating mga parents, students, and syempre pati teachers ay ini-invite din natin. No?
Siyempre, ini-invite namin kayo ni Tutor Erwin. Ayan, sa darating na September 17, ang unang biyernes ng pasukan sa public school. Okay, abangan nyo po. Ang nakaka-excite. Nako, yan. So, ang aming tambalan ni Tutor Erwin sa pre-calculus every Friday, 4:40 to 5:20 ng hapon. Ayan. So, bago kayo gutumin o bago kayo mag-dinner, gugutumin muna. Ayan. Maraming salamat.
Okay naman yung time slot natin after nila ng formal schooling. Siyempre, pang umaga sila. O, ganun.
Yes.
Magpahinga muna. Then,
pahinga.
ito ay parang another option
Oo.
na pwede nilang gamitin para sa additional na knowledge nila. No? May mga
Correct.
activities din
Tama.
tayo na ipoprovide para at least yung mga gusto pa no, kasi sa atin sa math no talagang ipina-practice yung mga skills na yan.
Oo, correct.
So muli, congratulations Tutor Zara and Tutor Erwin. And
Maraming
dahil dyan,
salamat.
Yes, makikita pa tayo mamaya Tutor Zara and Tutor Erwin para sa ating mga pa-shoutout pa mamaya. But now, I will now give the floor to the Itulay tutor mentee for the subject Statistics and Probability and Techno. Sipnayan, Math, Teki ka ba? Ayan. Tutor Rev, take it away!
Yes, hello, good afternoon everyone. Ayan, napakasaya ng buong araw natin. No? Nagsimula tayo sa magandang pag-uusap ngayong umaga. Ngayon naman, kilalanin natin ang susunod nating makakasama. Ang susunod nating makakasama ay mula sa Kapitolyo High School sa SDO Pasig na nagtuturo sa Senior High School Mathematics subjects. Ating salubungin ng may ngiti sa ating labi ang math tutor na ka-mathworks na, ka-math buddy pa. Ito na po ang ating tutor na walang kasing gwapo, si Tutor Ryan. Take it on, Teach.
Yan, good evening. Ako nga pala, ang gwapong-gwapong si Tutor Ryan. Ang makakasama nyo sa buong SEM sa General Mathematics, no? So, good evening sa lahat ng mga estudyante, sa lahat ng mga magulang, at sa lahat ng mga kapwa ko guro, o kahit sino mang nanonood dyan, kahit yung mga may crush lang sa akin. So, ako si Tutor Ryan, ang makakasama nyo buong SEM sa GenMath, at umpisahan natin ang ating pag-aaral sa function. So, ano nga ba ang function? Natutunan natin nung junior high school na ang function ay isang relasyon kung saan ang bawat domain ay papadala sa isang range lang. So, isang halimbawa ay ang set na may 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, 4, and 6, 5, no? Set of ordered pairs na may 4 na element, ito ay isang halimbawa ng function. Bakit? Kasi ang 3 ay naipadala lang sa 2, ang 4 ay naipadala lang sa 3, at ang 5 ay naipadala lang sa 4, at ang 6 ay pinadala lang sa 5. So, isa pang halimbawa ay ang set na naglalaman ng 2, 4, 3, 5, 3, 6, at 4, 7. Ito ay hindi function. Bakit? Dahil si 3 ay pinadala natin kay 5 at kay 6. Bawal yon. Dapat ang isang domain ay idinadala lang natin sa range. Sa isang range. Isa lang dapat. No? So, ngayon, review lang naman yan. Punta na tayo sa evaluation ng function. So, paano nga ba tayo mag-evaluate ng function? Simple lang, ginagawa nyo na to, or pwedeng nagawa nyo na, or pwedeng gagawin nyo pa lang. Para mag-evaluate ng function, papalitan lang natin ang value ng x. Dahil ang mga x dapat talaga ay pinapalitan. So, kunwari, f of x equals x plus 8. So, palitan natin si x ng 4. So, ang f of 4 natin, pinalitan natin ng ang x ng 4 ay magiging 4 plus 8. No? So, ang f of 4 natin ay equal sa 12. Isa pang halimbawa, ano naman kapag f of negative 2? Siyempre, hindi naman laging positive ang pinapalit natin sa x natin. Yung iba dyan, negative din. No? So, pag pinalitan natin ang x ng negative 2, ang f of negative 2 natin, ay magiging negative 2 plus 8. So, ang negative 2 plus 8 ay equal sa 6. So, paano naman kung ang pinalit natin sa x ay negative x? Dahil sawang-sawa na tayo sa x natin, gusto natin yung kabaliktaran niya. Well, edi palitan lang natin yung function natin. Yung x ay papalitan lang natin ng negative x, kaya imbis na x plus 8 ay magiging f of negative x ay magiging negative x plus 8. No? At ang huli nating halimbawa, paano naman kung may kadagdagan ng value ang x natin? So, ano nga ba ang ating f of x plus 3? So, pag pinalitan natin ang x ng x plus 3, so, palitan lang natin, ang f of x plus 3 natin ay equal sa x plus 3 plus 8. Pagsamahin lang natin ang like terms, which is 3 and 8. So, magiging x plus 11. No? So, ngayon, alam nyo na kung paano mag-evaluate ng function at kung ano nga ba ang function. So, natakam ba kayo sa mga natutunan nyo? Saglit na saglit lang yan. Alam ko gusto nyo pang matuto. Kung nabitin kayo sa mga natutunan nyo, or nabitin lang kayo sa kagwapuhan ko, magkita-kita tayo sa September 17, 4 p.m. at manood kayo ng GenMath, no? At ito nga pala ulit, ang napakamatgwapong si Tutor Ryan na nagsasabing, kung maraming nagkakagusto sa'yo, ay magpa-function pa rin ang isang relasyon. Pero kung marami ka nang nagugustuhan, tandaan na ang relasyon ay hindi magpa-function. Yun lang. Salamat. Bye-bye. Sa susunod ulit.
Grabe, Tutor Ryan. That was just quick. Pero yung enthusiasm, yung wit, grabe. Wala akong masabi, Tutor Rev.
Pwede ko bang isama ang guts? Grabe, di ba?
Oo, and guts, Tutor
Binilisan ko
Ryan.
lang talaga dahil kabadong-kabado na ako. At hindi ko...
Paano pa pag hindi ka na kinakabahan yan?
Oo, parang hindi ka naman kinabahan, Tutor Ryan.
Ah,
Gusto ko yung
actually-
yung may ex ay dapat lang palitan.
Oo,
Pasok
no.
na pasok.
Tapos, kapag isa lang ang, kung ano yun, Tutor Ryan, yung kapag marami kang nakarelasyon, ano po ulit yun?
Kapag maraming nagkakagusto sa'yo,
Okay.
function pa rin yun. Pero pag
Yun,
marami ka nang
yes.
nagugustuhan, hindi na magpa-function ang relasyon.
Galing. Bakit hindi ko yung
Galing,
naisip
no?
nag-session sa GenMath?
Parang naaalala ko,
Napakahusay.
if you love to love, you hate. Parang
Oo,
if you love to love,
parang
you
wala.
love. Oh, ang taray,
Oo,
ano?
ang galing talaga. Okay, Tutor Ryan, talagang maraming nag-aabang dito ang ating 16 million viewers.
Yes.
Nakatutok ay siguradong nag-aabang kung ano pang ibibigay mo o ang iyong wisdom, hindi lang pagdating sa matematika, kundi pagdating sa love rin, di ba, Tutor Rev? Akalain mo naman yun, ang ano pala, ang math pala, pwede rin ma-relate sa love, especially function, no?
And oo nga, grabe yung relationship sa reality, no? Sabi ko, oo nga, no? Panalong-panalo, pasok na pasok yung mga hirit ni sir. Oo nga, no? Pag marami nga, hindi pwede yun.
Hindi nga
Negative. At pwede rin negative ang ipalit sa ex.
Oo, pwede pala makahanap ka ng ex na
no?
negative. Oo,
Oo,
no?
ibang
Excite.
level ang ganong wisdom.
Nako, talaga
Exciting
naman,
I'm
no?
sure na-excite. And I'm sure na curious ang mga estudyante natin, no? Sino kaya itong gwapong tutor na ito?
Oo, ang math guwapo, very confident.
Yes.
Equally confident sa mga nauna rin sa kanya na mga e-to-light tutors, no? Talagang iba-iba yung mga characteristics ng ating mga bagong tutor. Pero we have one objective at ayun ay maiparating natin ang mathematics in a very much fun and easier way, di ba?
Yes.
And exciting.
And with the approach of Sir Ryan, no, it's a different approach, it's a unique approach, but it works. It actually works on us, di ba? For sure, mag-work yun sa mga bata pa kaya.
Totoo, no? Talagang may tututukan na ako. Isa sa mga tututukan ko talaga tong mga e-to-live session in Gen Math and soon sa Stat and Probability.
Yes, na-excited mo ako sa stat.
Kaya nga, ano kaya ang mga pangmalakasan rin mga hugot?
Ayan, hinihintay ko na yan.
Oo. So, Tutor Rep, papasukin na rin natin. Ayan. Uy, Tutor Ryan, parang kanina pa rin nagre-react to. Baka gusto mo siyang i-shout out.
Sino ba yan?
Si Ernest Joseph Cruz.
Tropa ko, shoutout nga pala kay Ernest Joseph.
Ayan, oo, i-ano natin siya, shoutout natin. Oo, ayan, may fans.
Hindi ko na nabasa, kinakabahan ako eh.
Sir Ryan.
Sabi ko, manood sila para di mag-zero yung viewer ko eh.
Oo, hindi, mataas. Mataas tayong lahat ngayon, nakakatuwa.
Mas lalo yatang tumaas nung sinabi ni Tutor Ryan na talagang guwapong tutor ay talagang nadadala.
Mukhang marami nag-a-agree. So comment nyo na yan kung kayo ay nag-a-agree sa mga namutawi sa labi ng ating Gen Math tutor na si Sir Ryan. O, di ba?
Pero alam mo, sir, one thing that we know about Sir Ryan, no, siya pala ay UPDBS Math graduate, di ba? Ang taray. So, the looks and the brain, what else are you going to ask for?
Tutor Ryan, may nagtatanong, single ka daw ba?
May girlfriend ako.
Okay. Oh, ayan na. Nagpa-function. At nagpa-function, syempre, no, Tutor Ryan. Oo.
Kumbaga
So,
siya
taken
yung function. Maraming crush, pero isa lang, di ba?
Isa lang. Para mag-function.
One-to-one yan, sir?
One-to-one yan, ha? Hindi many-to-one, ha?
Hindi ko alam kung maraming may gusto sa akin, pero isa lang yung gusto ko.
Ayun.
Function pa rin naman yun eh.
Oo.
Yes. At least sure tayo na function yan.
Kahit maraming may gusto sa akin, function pa rin.
Yes. Very good ka dyan.
Ayan. And Tutor Rev, syempre, maraming salamat rin. Of course, alam namin na galing ka sa prior commitment mo to your dear school. Syempre, lagi pa din natin uunahin ang ating paaralan. But of course, you make time para sa ating dry run na ito. Talagang we highly appreciate. And of course, si Tutor Erwin, hinihintay ko lang rin mag-on cam kasi mukhang nagda-drive na rin pa uwi, no? Ganyan po ka-dedicated ang ating mga kasama sa Senior High School MATHPamilya. Ayan na si Tutor Erwin. O, di ba? Nagda-drive na pa uwi. Sige, drive ka lang, Tutor Erwin. Syempre, tingin po sa kalsada at mag-ingat po tayo pa uwi. So, talagang ganyan ka-dedicated, no? Papasukin na rin natin si Tutor Zara, of course. And wow, complete ang ating Senior High School MATHPamilya. And of course, si Tutor Eljun. Ayan, yay! So, si Tutor Madge po, ang ating principal Madge, ay medyo sumama lang po ang kanyang pakiramdam. Plus, lagpas na kasi ng alas 7. Alas 7. tulog na yun eh. Family time na talaga. So, get well, Kap Madge, Tutor Madge, pero nandito siya kanina
Get
sa
well
ating
soon,
stream.
sir.
Get well soon, Kap. Opo. And our principal. So, Tutor Reb, saan ba natin aabangan si Tutor Ryan?
Yes, abangan natin siya sa Gen Math. Tama, sir, di ba? 4:40.
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock is Gen Math. Abangan po natin si Sir Ryan. Wala ka nang hihilingin pa. Ka-math body na with brains. Kumaga brains and beauty yan. So ano pa bang hihintayin natin? We have to grab that opportunity na makapakinggan siya at matuto sa kanya. At hindi lang sa kanya, syempre pati kay Tutor Elchun at Tutor Sarah. Yan.
Yes, talaga. At syempre yan ay hinahandog sa atin ng Department of Education, Educational Technology Unit, at ang ating ng principal, ang ating program head ay walang iba kundi ang ating napakagwapo rin, equally gwapo, kasing gwapo nating mga senior high school math tutors, at kasing bubusilak at kagaganda ng ating mga girls dito na si Tutor Rev at si Tutor Zara. Walang iba kundi si Cap Mark Anthony F. Hamisal. And of course, ito rin ay dahil sa pangunguna ng ating DepEd ICTS Head, walang iba kundi si Sir Mark Anthony CC. And of course, the Director 4 of DepEd ICTS, none other than Director Abram YC Abanil, the Department of Education Undersecretary for Administration, Undersecretary Elaine Del B. Pasqua, and of course, our dear DepEd Secretary Leonor Magtolis Briones. Ayan, syempre bago tayo magpaalam, ayan, natunghayan nyo na po ang tatlo sa ating mga bagong-bagong itulay tutors na makakasama ninyo. Tuwing kailan nga po, Tutor Erwin?
Ayan ang ating Friday Math Day. Ayan. So, ang senior high school ay mag-uumpisa ng alas 4 ng hapon. Same time slot as before. 4 to 4:40 at 4:40 to 5:20.
Ayan, o, di ba kayang-kaya ni Tutor Erwin talaga mag-multitask. So, sige po, focus na po kayo sa kalsada, Tutor Erwin. Sige po. Ayan, ganyan talaga dedicated ang ating mga kasamahan dito sa itulay para maihatid po namin sa inyo ang kalidad na edukasyon. And Tutor Rev, meron ka bang, ikaw muna mag-shoutout dyan. Baka may mga pa-shoutout ka. Ay, nakamute po kayo, Tutor Rev.
Shout out sa lahat ng mga taga-Pasig at Makati. Yan, nilahat ko na. Syempre baka ang daming, baka mabudol ako, madaming taga-Pasig dito. Shout out sa lahat ng mga taga-Pasig at Makati. At syempre sa mga hits natin. No? Maraming salamat po sa pag-subaybay sa ating mga math tutors. Sana po kung paano nyo kami sinubaybayan, kaming tatlo nila, Tutor Romel at Tutor
Erwin.
Kami pong mga tutors dati at Tutor Erwin at Tutor Ryan. Ngayon po, subaybayin nyo rin po sila Tutor Ryan, Tutor Sarah at Tutor Elton. Maraming salamat po.
Ayan. So, maraming salamat rin, Tutor Mentor, Teacher Rev for Statistics and Probability and Techno-Sipnayan. Ayan. So, abangan
Tutor
din
Romel, meron din tayong invitation para sa kasi tayo ay gusto nating i-extend yung ating gustong i-share at i-inspire sa ating mga students, teachers sa pangkalahatan na, no? At kaya ini-invite namin kayo ni Tutor Romel na subaybayan din yung ating gagawin tuwing Sabado. Ano
ayan.
Tutor Romel?
Yes. Meron tayong bagong-bagong vlog na i-release. Ayan. Mga vlogger na kami. Actually, this was inspired by a number vendor, Dr. Peter, if you are watching. Actually, tag natin siya, no, Tutor Erwin, no? Ang nagbigay sa atin ng inspirasyon para ipagpatuloy ang kalidad na edukasyon tuwing Sabado, 4 to 5 p.m. If you want to re-inspire, syempre, Tutor Erwin, ang re-inspire stands for reflect, educate, and inspire. So samahan niyo po si Tutor Erwin and Tutor Romel starting this Saturday. At sa Saturday po, ang guest namin ni Tutor Erwin ay walang iba kundi ang program head and principal po natin dito sa Itulay Summer Camp and Itulay Online Tutorial, none other than Mark Anthony F. Hamisal. At ang atin pong pag-uusapan ay tungkol sa virtual inset. So kung ikaw na nanonood ngayon ay hindi pa enrolled sa DepEd LMS, hindi pa huli ang lahat. Dahil gagabayan ka ni Tutor Madge, ni Tutor Erwin at ni Tutor Romel sa
Saka
darating
Tutor Romel,
na Sabado.
sikat na sikat
Yes,
yan si
Tutor Erwin.
Vincent. Sikat na sikat yan si Vincent.
Yes.
No?
Oo.
Yung mga hindi teachers, tinatanong sino ba si Vincent. Kaya yan, sa Sabado, panoorin nyo po, makikilala nyo po si Vincent.
Yes, tingnan natin kung kasing gwapo siya ni Tutor Erwin, Tutor Rom, Tutor Eljun, Tutor Ryan, or kasing ganda ba siya nila Tutor Sarah and Tutor Rev. Abangan natin kung sino ba yan si Vincent na yan. Ayan. So, susunod naman na, Sir, Tutor Erwin, sige, para makapag-focus ka na sa iyong pagdadrive, sige, mag-shoutout ka na.
Ayan, magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Lahat na sinashoutout natin. At maraming salamat po sa inyong pagsuporta. At ito naman po ay ginagawa natin from the DepEd family. At ini-extend na natin to sa pangkalahatan. Kaya tayo na-inspired, no, Tutor Romel, na mag-invite pa ng iba't iba pang mga personalidad na makakatulong sa ating mga mag-aaral, sa ating mga guro, mga magulang, saan man sulok ng mundo, gusto na nating abutin. Kaya sana suportahan po ninyo yung aming mga adhika dito sa aming mga endeavor at mga future endeavor. At ito pong Itulay ay para sa inyo. Suportahan niyo po. Higit pa sa pagsuporta nyo sa amin, dahil sigurado po kaming hindi lang po kayong matututo, i-enjoy nyo pa yung math dito sa ating bagong Itulay math tutorial for this school year 2021-2022. Sulong edukalidad, itutuloy natin ang edukasyon kahit anong mangyari, kahit saan man ako makarating ngayong gabi. Tutuloy natin yan. Maraming salamat, Tutor Romel.
Okay, ako na mag-shoutout kay Ma'am Badet, saka kay sa iyong Mini-Me. Ano nga bang name ni Mini-Me, Tutor Erwin?
Mini-Me JD. Ayan, susunod
hello,
natin yung guest sa susunod.
Yes, magta-Tower of Hanoi. Magaling na mag-Tower of Hanoi, no, Tutor Erwin. Okay, talagang huminto pa si Tutor Erwin para mag-shoutout. And alam nyo na, Tutor Ryan, Tutor Rev, Tutor Sarah, and Tutor Eljun, kung saan tayo sasakay kapag tayo ay nag-tripping na sa iba't ibang panig ng Pilipinas para ma-promote natin talaga ang Itulay. Ayan, so susunod na po, Tutor Eljun. Ayan, shout out Sir Eljun.
Ayan, so maraming salamat po sa mga nanood ng dry run ko kanina, no, na-appreciate ko siya dahil habang nanonood ako habang nagtuturo ako alam kong may nanonood. Samahan niyo kami ni Sir Romel sa Business Mathematics tuwing Friday mula 4:40 hanggang 5:20 ng hapon. So kahit gabi na, sana isubaybay niyo pa rin kami dahil ito ay hinandog namin. Kami nag-extend ng effort kahit paggabi na, no, kahit pagpahingahan na, nag-extend kami ng effort para sa inyo. So yun lang po, Sir Romel. Maraming salamat po.
Baka may shoutout na nagsisimula sa letter A yung pangalan. Napaka-intrigero talaga. Ay, Tutor Eljun?
Busy siya ngayon, busy sa brigada.
Pero pwede kasing mapanood to ulit, di ba? Replay, team replay.
Shout out din for the words of encouragement sa aking kay Ma'am Joey Laudensia, Algeris Laudensia from San Lorenzo High School. Thank you po.
Of course. Thank you, Tutor Eljun. Kaya wala kayong matatago sa akin. Eto kaya, sino kaya ang isa-shoutout neto na pangkiligan? Tutor Zara?
O syempre, shoutout natin ang mga taga Eusebio High School. Walang pangkiligan.
Meron, si Mayor.
Shoutout nga pala kay Mayor Pico. Yan, pangkiligan talaga yun.
Ayan, hello sa ating
Mayor. Sa aming head ng Eusebio High School, Ma'am Annalyn Makasinag, sa aming assistant to the principal, Sir Rafi Maga, at syempre, ang mga pamilya ko na nanonood sa akin, ang aking kapatid, ang maganda kong kapatid. Hello, Karen. Mga anak ko, dyan muna kayo.
Mention mo na, Tutor Sarah, mga pangalan nila.
Ayan, sa aking mga anak, Miko, Aki, Kael, yan, pangkiligan talaga yan.
Syempre naman, ibang kilig niyan. Okay, and of course, Tutor Ryan.
Yan, shout out sa lahat ng kabarkada ko, no? Kay EJ, kay Pecky, dun sa lahat ng mga sinendan ko ng link, sa lahat ng pamilya ko, kay Celine, tsaka dyan sa mga pamilya ko sa Cavite, kay Tita Ilet, sila Ninang Bernat, Ninong Edwin, shout out. Yan, shout out sa lahat. Sana sa susunod kahit sila na lang manood, no, para energetic. Pero i-share nila yan, alam ko i-share. At kayo din, i-share nyo rin. Kahit kalokohan na lang ang matutunan natin sa session ng GenMath.
Ayan, thank you very much, Tutor Ryan. And of course, bilang pong tumatayong program head ng Senior High School Math Pamilya, hindi ko talaga ma-express or hindi ko ma-describe ang aking nararamdaman ngayon sa sobrang labis na katuwaan kahit na pagod, pero naandito pa rin ang mga ngiti sa labi para po kayo ay mapaglingkuran. And syempre, nais ko rin pong pasalamatan ang Microsoft Education Philippines sa pangunguna po ni Miss Clarissa Sigismundo. Ayan, sa pag-acknowledge po ng aking wakelet output kanina sa Vincent. So maraming salamat rin po, Kap Madge, na isa ako sa mga napili bilang maging showcase ng output po of Microsoft Output for August Game-Based Learning for Vincent 2021 2.0. Talagang labis na nakakataba ng puso, no? And shout out rin kay Ma'am MJ Abad, kay Ma'am Maylin na nag-inform sa akin kanina na ako pala ay naka-flash na sa Vincent kasi ako po ay nasa school kanina. So talagang nag-team replay ako kaninang umaga and nakita ko nga naka-flash wala ang aking mukha. And of course, shout out rin sa school namin, ang San Lorenzo Ruiz Senior High School, na aking of course inspirasyon para magpatuloy ang ganitong endeavor, ang profesyon ng pagtuturo. Syempre dahil yan sa San Lorenzo at sa ating SDO Pasig City, sa SDO Makati dahil hindi dahil sa pagpayag nila na si Tutor Rev ay maging teacher broadcaster turned Itulay tutor ay hindi namin siya makikilala. So shout out rin sa Makati Science High School, no, na school ni Tutor Rev. And of course, shout out sa aking pamilya, no, na naiintindihan nila kapag ako'y nakapwesto na dito. Talagang quiet na silang lahat. Although it's a challenge talaga, no, na mag-work from home. Pero they make it a point na talagang mag-keep quiet. So alam ko naiintindihan ng lahat yan. Sa aking Mama Minerva, sa aking Kuya June, Kuya Romnick, sa aking mga kapatid Mary Ivana, Jillian, and Matias. And of course, sa tita ko sa kabila, Nanay Carol, Tita Dea, Tita Marisa, Tito Sario, and Ashley. And of course, sa aking mga kamag-anak sa Marinduque na laging nakasupport. And of course, sa 17 million, kanina umabot pa tayo ng 22 million viewers, no? Talagang maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. At magkita-kita po tayo sa mga susunod pa na programa. At nawa po ay suportahan po nating lahat ang Itulay online tutorial. Nakapag-release na po ng memorandum, no? National memorandum. At ito po nga po ay mag-uumpisa na on September 13. So kasabay ng pag-uumpisa po ng ating pasukan ay ang pag-uumpisa ng Itulay online tutorial na hindi na lang nationally recognized po kundi internationally recognized. Maraming salamat po kila Sir Mark Anthony C. and Sir Madge na talagang patuloy na exert ng effort para po sa ating programa na ito. Ayan so maraming salamat sa ating 22 million viewers and of course sa aking mga kasama ngayon sa screen na ito. Ayan, Tutor Eljun, Tutor Ryan, and Tutor Zara. Kayo po ang panibagong biyaya na pinagkaloob ng Diyos sa Itulay family and I know that God has a purpose, no? Kung bakit po magkakasama tayo ngayon dito. Ayan, si Tutor Erwin ay medyo nalaglag na siguro kasi nagda-drive, no? Pero maraming salamat, no? Don't forget to like and share. Pwede tayo mag-team replay dito para makita natin kung ano pa yung mga dapat i-improve. Pero so far, so good. And I know that mas magiging mas magiging maganda pa ang mga susunod na session natin. Ayan. So talagang very immune na tayo sa camera, di ba? Ayan. So handang-handa na pagdating sa September 17. So sabay-sabay po nating isigaw ang Sulong Edukalidad. 1, 2, ready, go! Sulong Edukalidad. Bye-bye! God bless to everyone! Ayan, hintay lang natin ang ating pa-banner. Bye-bye! Bye-bye muna kayo dyan. Bye! See ya, everyone! Ayan, okay. Okay, yan.
Hi teachers and learners! Good day! I am Mr. Alvin C., one of the EdTech specialists serving you with happiness. In response to the United Nations Declaration of Paris in 2012 about the open educational resources, the Philippines' basic education is ready to fulfill its promise to make learning accessible and give equal opportunity to every Filipino. This is the birth of the DepEd Commons to bridge the gaps of having adequate available resources with the aid of ICT equipment and infrastructure. The DepEd Commons was a flagship project headed by the Undersecretary for Administration, Alain Del B. Pasqua, and Director 4 of the Information and Communication Technology Service, Abram YC Abanil. DepEd Commons serves as an online education delivery platform of the department where learning resources, online review materials, and open educational resources or OERs made by educators are available, easily accessed, and where resources can be modified without having to reprint when such materials necessitate revisions or improvement. In cooperation with the Department of Information and Communication Technology or DICT, National Telecommunication Commissions or NTC, SMART, PLDT, and Globe, we can use the DepEd Commons for free, even without the data load or credits. It's more convenient to learn and study 24/7 in the comfort of your own home. The interface of the system is simple and yet very direct to immediately show the needed materials, which can be downloaded or viewed via a browser. Continuous enhancement and development were catered to showcase the abrupt needs of the end users. With the demands of technology in education, the DepEd Commons became top 4 as the most trending search in Google in year 2020. Aside from that, DepEd Commons ranked number 1 in the most searched topic under the education category in our country in the same year. The DepEd Commons has a total number of 15,190,182 unique users since it was first launched in March 2020. Today, you will see thousands of learning resources in the system to support the blended learning modalities of the department. In addition, the bright future of DepEd Commons will continuously shine as we embark and empower the public school teachers in creating world-class teaching and learning resources such as electronic books or ebooks, digital magazine and worksheets, interactive online games, self-developed Android applications, instructional and tutorial video contents, and other emerging technology tools. As a support system in the online modalities, the use of learning management system is taking into shape. The DepEd LMS is an e-learning platform initiated by the ICTS to help and support the teaching and learning process in the controlled online environment. It was created to work concertedly with the DepEd Commons. Amongst the advantages of using the DepEd LMS are as follows. First, it is cost-effective. The courseware allows participants to access it in their own free time and reduces travel expenses, accommodation costs, and professional fees. Learning while watching the instructional aided materials enhances the soft skills of participants by doing the hands-on activity as requirement. In addition, A digital certificate with QR security code is automatically rewarded to a participant once a certain course is accomplished and completed. Second, consistency of training. The delivery and mastery of competencies is consistent since it is centralized, well-organized, and easy to navigate. It delivers a learning curve to all students by supplying a single source for content, course materials, and instruction with variation of activities that will enhance the skills of end users. Third, it easily tracks learners' progress and performance. It has the capability to allow DepEd to easily generate and consolidate training reports in all overall perspective. By utilizing the e-learning courses or online trainings, trainers can easily track goals progress, knowledge gains, and determine who have completed the course or who needs assistance and help. The Department of Education internally developed an in-house learning management system, namely the Professional Development LMS or PDLMS, used for professional growth and capacity building for teacher and non-teaching personnel, which is not limited to public school teachers. It is also available to private school teachers and even college or university professors. On the other hand, the DepEd Regional LMS or DLMS is intended exclusively for public school teachers and students within their regions and divisions to support the blended learning modalities in delivering quality instruction. To learn more and have a feel of ease in using this innovative system, kindly visit commons.deped.gov.ph for DepEd Commons, trainings.deped.gov.ph for DepEd PD LMS, and lms.deped.gov.ph for DepEd Regional LMS. We will continue to innovate and transform the Philippine basic education in its target glory. Para sa bata, para sa bayan, para sa guro. Sulong edukalidad.